Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Bowman, Editor-in-Chief of Supply Chain Brain, and I'll welcome you to this presentation on implementing D365 for alignment with your medical device requirements, a webinar exploration. One quick reminder, there will be an audience question and answer session at the end of this presentation. Audience members are encouraged to submit their questions at any time during the presentation by clicking on that Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. So today, we're going to explore the extensive capabilities of Microsoft Dynamics 365 with Alithya 365 Enhanced Quality and Compliance. We'll show you how to provide your medical device organization with the tools and insights necessary for achieving not only swift market entry, but also elevated levels of quality and compliance. And we'll include a hands-on demonstration showcasing examples of practical implementation. With that, I want to introduce our speakers for today. Tracy DiDona is Principal Program Manager with Alithya. She's a software professional with over 30 years of experience in enterprise software strategy, product management, design, development, quality assurance, support, consulting, training, and sales. Her ERP expertise includes Microsoft Dynamics, PeopleSoft, Oracle, and JD Edwards. Steve Reed is Vice President of Sales at Alithya. He's been with the company for 23 years, working with clients across various industries to help them achieve business goals through innovative solutions and empowered teams. Before joining Alithya, he held leadership positions with several technology firms in the mortgage banking and software sectors. And Juan Aguilar is a supply chain technical specialist with Microsoft. He has more than 10 years of experience in business applications across multiple applications, from support to implementation to pre-sales. So to kick it off, I want to pose a question to Juan. Juan, would you share information with us, please, about the activities and functions of Microsoft?
Yeah, so throughout this webinar, we'll be talking about how Microsoft and Alithya can help medical device-focused customers as you embark on finding the right solution. Now, we're confident that we're the best partner for your organization, and I'm sure you've heard a lot about Microsoft several times this year in the news, whether it's generative AI or other products. But let's start by talking about how we're helping our customers. Now, did you know that 97% of those customers in the Fortune 500, with 9 out of 10 leading telcos and 7 out of 10 investment banks, are using Dynamics 365? We're proud to support over 500,000 customers using our business application products. And to date, we have 40,000 plus customers that have already used Copilot capabilities in Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform. Now, we have 30 years of history providing CRM and ERP solutions. And we're also a leader in AI, collaboration, and productivity, and low code with one common data model across all business applications. And we're constantly improving our platform to give our customers solutions to enhance their experience. Now, the challenging facing customers with having or implementing systems that places limits on how they adapt to new processes or technologies. Now, consider every single time that you're going to introduce a new process or solution. How are you going to manage that in your organization? Well, you first have to determine, is it even possible in your current state? Today's ERP simply can't keep up with market volatility, cost savings, changing customer expectations, environmental, social, and governance, and the big one, hybrid and flexible work. Business model innovation is critical to competitive differentiation across all industries, including us. Everyone must adapt. You need an agile cloud ERP solution to help you transform the way work gets done and how your business operations run. With Microsoft and partners, customers are able to achieve that.
Thanks very much, Juan. Let me ask Steve Reed to share some of the details about the services and functions of Alithya.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Alithya is a growing transformation-focused organization. 3 main business pillars around strategic consulting, enterprise transformation, and solving business problems and business enablement for our clients. Core industries that we serve and operate in focused around manufacturing, healthcare, which obviously medical devices falls into both of those, financial services, insurance, telecom, and government. And a lot of our business is designed around accelerators, helping our clients engage and connect and resolve their business challenges and helping them achieve the business outcomes that they're focused on. And in doing that in a more rapid way, taking some of the capabilities that they have, empowering their employees, and doing that in a faster way. And obviously, we partner with Microsoft for this, whether it's through the cloud and app modernization, to data and analytics, to working with a ERP system, CRM system, and those are just tools. And so again, using those tools to help our clients to do more and to do more faster. A couple other areas that we focus on, just to go into more detail around our strategic consulting. So we focus on organization performance. You know, right now, cybersecurity is an area that we see with a lot of our clients. Enterprise architecture ties into that as well. Enterprise transformation is an area where things like ERP system and implementing that is a big area. Cloud infrastructure, cloud custom application development. And then around business enablement, we're thinking of things of digital adoption and training. So you think about, we do all this work, we implement a new product, we have great processes that are now driven through the cloud, and if they're not used, then it all goes to waste. And so working with our clients to help have a consistent theme and method, to have strong communication throughout the project, and ultimately helping user adoption to be complete so that end users are knowing how to use the system that's been implemented. Change enablement is part of that, and then quality engineering. So all of that, delivering all of that for our clients, both in North America as well as in Europe and Asia Pacific.
Thanks, Steve. Juan, tell us about Microsoft's approach to addressing the medical device industry.
How much time do we have, Bob? But I'll try my best here. Now,
do your best.
Okay. I could list a number of methods on how Microsoft is supporting the medical device industry, but let's talk about what makes Microsoft unique. Our differentiation is rooted in the agility and connectivity across the Microsoft cloud, with organically developed first-party capabilities and tight integrations to create a digital business operations experience across financial, operational, and organizational models. For this slide, let's focus on the three areas that makes the Microsoft Cloud special. Copilot. Microsoft 365 Copilot takes advantage of recent advancements in generative AI to automate tedious tasks that unlock the full creativity of the workforce. It's collaborative. Microsoft is the only vendor that can offer a truly collaborative approach to cloud ERP, with collaborative apps transforming how organizations run their business operations. And it's composable. The breadth of the Microsoft Cloud allows customers to start with what they need today and adapt as they grow. Purpose-built customization layer allows partners to extend without impacting the existing IP, just like what you're going to see today from Alithya. Our cloud platform is composable, so you can easily connect to the systems and tools that you already use to start where you need to transform. And trust the only business platform that puts your people first and natively works with the Microsoft Cloud, with Microsoft 365, Azure, and the Microsoft Power Platform for an unparalleled consistency across systems and processes. Now, we are uniquely positioned because we're the only true connected solution to bring sales organizations the end-to-end support that they need. We have a full suite of technology to support your entire business, and in this case, your medical device requirements, from customer experience, service, supply chain, finance, lead solutions, low-code innovation, analytics, insights, productivity and collaboration, applications, and Azure.
Thanks, Juan. Steve, tell us why Alithya is the go-to Microsoft D365 partner specifically for the medical device industry?
Yeah, Bobby, it's a good question. There's several areas that we excel in when it comes to the med device industry. So first off is our ability to have an accelerated deployment. Again, ERP it's a long implementation, or can be, and being able to get off to a quick start. And one way that we do this is having a pre-configured med device express environment that expedites the early portions of the implementation process. So you can think of it like this: rather than walking in and having a blank sheet of paper and just asking, hey, what would you like the system to do? We're walking in with that already configured, with data already in place that allows us just to get off to a faster start. Second, we have a product that's called Edge that sits within Dynamics 365. And this solution provides additional functionality and that meets requirements from the FDA around med device for med device manufacturers. Things like quality, CAPA, other areas like that. Third, Alithia's consulting team understands what is required and expected to be 21 CFR Part 820 compliant based on good manufacturing practices. And obviously they understand dynamics. And so that combination is unique in our marketplace. And finally, I mentioned before about digital adoption and training. So OCM and training are an important part of this process too. So you think about good project communication. It's really paramount for success. And our customized training helps to ensure user adoption and overall project success.
Thanks, Steve. Juan, what specific contributions does Microsoft make to the medical device industry?
So I'm only going to focus on the finance and supply chain from Dynamics 365 and some of the functionality that we have there. But we have several out of the box, including batch tracking. This allows customers to track inventory batches throughout the various processes within the application to have a complete view of batch usage. We have serial tracking. This enables users to define what processes use serial numbers and tag serials through the inventory and warehousing systems. We're going to have quality tests, and this allows for setup and the ability to perform quality tests for materials consumed or produced from various stages in the process. With quality orders, it enables users to collect quality tests into the quality order and have quality personnel take action. And with inventory blocking, customers can block inventory for a part of inventory or all the inventory under inspection. With certificates of approval, you can print the COA after the quality testing to file it for the auditors or sending directly to your customers. Quarantine orders allows you to create quarantine orders that make that material unavailable for reservation. And with item tracing, with this procedure, you can identify an item, trace it back to the source, and trace it forward through the production and the sale of the finished product. And this process can be used to investigate customers' impacted and the sales order affected, and more. Now, these are just some of the functionality that our medical customers are using today. We have more. Fortunately, I don't have time to go through all of them, but just to kind of give you a taste of what D365 can do for you.
Okay, Juan, thank you. Steve, you mentioned Medical Device Express earlier. Tell us a little bit more about it, would you, especially from the perspective of your IP, your intellectual property?
Yeah, you bet. So the basis for Med Device Express is truly the knowledge obtained across hundreds of implementations and taking that knowledge and deploying it in the business process modeling tool that comes with D365. So we're taking really again, like what Juan has talked about, he's described with what Microsoft provides in Dynamics. We're taking and using that capability, but we're fine tuning it specifically for the med device industry. And so the processes have been designed and set up, focused on that on this med device space, and then we taken and combine with that and leverage the capabilities of Alithia's Edge product to provide functionality that can be deployed to satisfy the rigors of FDA's 21 CFR Part 820 operational requirements. Med Device Express, it's a pre-configured database, includes fully operational company, complete with over 1,000 business processes, focus on medical device manufacturing. And what we do is Bob, for the data that we use in the database, we're working with our clients. So when we're at the point where the client's ready to move forward and to begin their implementation, we're getting data from them so that when we begin the implementation, they're walking in and they're not seeing how to build a bicycle. They're coming in, they're seeing their customers, their suppliers. They see data that they're familiar with. And so just even that element of it allows just to be a little bit more comfortable as they move into a new system. The other element of Med Device Express is that it comes with over 700 detailed task guides that provide step-by-step instructions. And these instructions, they can be documentation in Word, they can be in PowerPoint, but they can also be used to actually have an automated guidance to walk the user through their daily processes.
Thanks for that. Steve, tell me a little bit more, though, about your consulting team and the depth that they have of their knowledge in this industry.
Yeah, so our consultants are obviously the key to all of our implementations. One of the things that's unique is that with our Dynamics practice, our Microsoft practice, our consultants are working on Microsoft Dynamics every day. So that's the single product that they're working on and are focused on, which I think helps when it comes to just consistency, but also there's a lot of people that they can reach out to when they have questions. But specifically, we have consultants that have background in and have done a number of implementations focused around FDA regulated industries. So they understand what the FDA considers as current good manufacturing practices. And that combined with the knowledge of Dynamics, understanding the capabilities that Microsoft gives, how our Edge product comes into play, and then also working with a validation partner that's typically engaged with us and with the client, knowing those key times when they need to be pulled in before we take that next step. So all of that combined helps give a successful project.
Okay, you talked about 21 CFR Part 820, generally, as you say, a foundation of current good manufacturing practices as put out by the FDA. How do you handle compliance with 21 CFR, Steve?
Yeah, an example may be the best way to describe it. When we receive items from an FDA regulated organization, certain items need to be tested by the quality team. And so in a regulated environment, if the quality test fails, you've got to create a non-conformance report, right? And then create a corrective action, preventative action, or CAPA. Actually, Tracy will be showing this a little bit later today, or a little bit later in the webinar. But as a natural course of business, you would ship the defective product back to your supplier. But the process doesn't stop there. The FDA mandates that the supplier must respond to the CAPA that was created and must provide a resolution or preventative action. As a med device manufacturer would be required to produce all of the NCR and CAPA reports when the FDA audits their facility to prove that the manufacturing issue was addressed by the supplier in this example. The NCR and CAPA functionality, all of that's provided through Dynamics 365 and through our Edge for Operations solution.
Thank you, Steve. So tell me more about the validation procedure and adherence to compliance, Steve.
Yeah, so the validation process, it's intertwined with the D365 deployment. They really have to go hand in hand. And the focus of the validation effort as it pertains to the ERP deployment is to capture each screen in the system, in the production system. So the FDA will audit the ERP system to ensure that the screens are 100% matched. And during the implementation process, generally it's kind of in that middle frame. We call it conference room pilot 2, but this is it's a key point in the implementation where really we're beginning to to see the system come to life and really to prove out that the system, any modifications, all of that are beginning to be tied together into a conference room pilot. And here, the validation consulting firm will freeze the code, and production, order entry, distribution systems can't be changed after that, prior to go live. So from that point forward in time, all changes to production system must be tracked and reported to the FDA.
Well, thank you for that. Let's move into a demo now. And for that, I'm going to ask Tracy DeDonna to guide us through and demonstrate a few instances that showcase the capabilities of Alithya IP. So over to you, Tracy.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, I'm going to cover what is in our Edge for Operations solution, which is specifically designed based on common requirements of our customers across our targeted industries, such as the medical device industry. The main focus of our feature set is quality and compliance. So here you can see our feature set. All of these features are part of our Edge for Operations solution. And all of these are ones that are specific for our medical device customers. So basically, we take the feature-rich Microsoft Dynamics 365 product and we further enhance it based on what our customers need in this space. Our solution is built on top of D365. It's fully integrated. And we build our IP solely to address those common requirements from our customers. That's where we get our input into our development. And we solely offer our IP to our Alithya customers who we are partnering with to implement D365. So here you see the list of our features. And I don't have time to cover them all today, but I do want to highlight a few of them. So first, I'll talk about the quality features. So I like to call this Quality Plus. This is a list of related features, all enhancing quality management. So obviously D365 has a quality management module, but for some of our customers, particularly in heavily regulated areas, they need it to do more. And so we heavily invest in this particular area. Some of these features are large, like the instrument calibration feature takes a test instrument from creation through calibration, and it's tied back to how it's used on a quality order and what inventory specifically it was used to test. And then some of these features are smaller, but drastically improve the usability. So for example, a lot of our customers have a lot of quality tests, and entering in those test results can be time consuming. So we have a quick result entry feature that drastically reduces the amount of time it takes to enter in quality results. Another one of our common requirements is our electronic batch record feature. The business pain here that we set out to address was disconnected data. So the data that our customer needs is in D365, but it's spread out in multiple places. And so we built the electronic batch record feature to kind of bring it all together. So this feature has two major components: the device master record, which is all the information related on how that manufactured item is configured and defined. So the various BOM versions that are used and route versions, the quality triggers for that particular item, all of that is included in our device master record. And then our device history record is now we've taken that device and we have manufactured it in a production order. Tell me everything about that. So tell me which BOM versions were used, which route version was used, what was specifically picked against that order, what serial numbers were used in there, what was reported as finished against that production order, were the raw materials tested and what was the results of those tests, was the finished good tested, and what was the result of that finished good in terms of the quality testing. So basically this feature kind of brings together audit trail data, approvals. If you have electronic signature enabled, it'll bring that together. All of the route and BOM details and work instructions and all of the quality testing results brought together in kind of a one-stop shop for all of your manufacturing data needs. So I also now want to talk about our CAPA management solution, and this is the one that I'm going to demo for you. But first, let's talk a little bit about what it is. So CAPA management, corrective action, preventative action module. Many of our customers are required to have this. and are required to show issues that they have found and resolved through a CAPA management type of system. So we built, it's a way to formally document a process for how a problem was found. How did you research it? How did you fix it? How did you correct the problem and prevent it from happening again? We built our CAPA management module off of standard D365 case management infrastructure, and then we enhanced it based on what our customers needed it to do. And so basically it provides a closed loop solution. It meets FDA expectations in terms of a repeatable, systematic investigation and root cause analysis tool. So one of the key elements in CAPA management is our CAPA process. Our CAPA process drives the work that comes out of the CAPA management module. So here's an example. We provide this CAPA process as a template out of the box. Some of my customers use this template exactly as is. Others of them tweak it for their own needs. It's configurable, so you can tweak this as you need to, or create other CAPA processes. And basically it tells the system what activities to create, what work needs to be done in order to take that CAPA case from creation all the way through closure. So this is a common process that's used by many of my customers, where you go through a definition stage, an evaluation stage where a risk management assessment is done. You investigate, you analyze, you go through a management approval process, you implement that plan, and then you verify that it actually did fix what it was supposed to fix before it's closed. So I think I'm going to now go over to D365 and show you this in action. Okay. So this is D365, and you can see I'm in the Medical Device Express environment. So this is what Steve was talking about, our pre-configured environment. This particular environment is set up with surgical staplers as one example. I'm going to open up our CAPA management system. So this is our CAPA management workspace, everything related to CAPA all in one place. So you have your CAPA cases, and then every CAPA case has a bunch of activities, work that you do in order to resolve that particular issue. We have some analytics, some trending analytics. So you can look at CAPA cases by status, or you can drill into CAPA cases by category, or you can even drill down deeper and say for a particular category, such as the process problems, which process is having more troubles than others. So we have some trending analysis as part of our CAPA management module. If we pull up the CAPA process, this is what I showed you in PowerPoint, but I wanted to show you what it looks like in D365. So this is where it's configurable. I have 8 stages of work. A given CAPA case would be assigned a process, and then the process is going to dictate the steps that organization needs to follow. So somebody needs to identify the problem. The CAPA process is going to dictate that. This is what will drive things like who's responsible for that activity. When should they start it? When will it be due? So they should start it right away. It'll be due within 24 hours, and whether or not it's required to complete that task before going on to another task. So that's what our CAPA process will do for us. I'd like to show a CAPA case kind of closed to kind of help people understand what it will do for them. Before I do that, I'm going to go over and show you a quality order. So Steve talked about an example of a quality order failing. So from this quality order, I can create a non-conformance, or I can create a CAPA case as well. And that's what I've done here. So I have a failed quality order. Basically, it passed its visual check, its electrical check, and it failed on the execution check. So I have a failed quality order. Throughout D365, we have the ability to generate CAPA cases, and then it will automatically link to where it came from. So in this case, I already created a CAPA case, and it linked back to this quality order and the item and serial number that I was testing. Let's look at that CAPA case. I have completed this one already. So if I go into the details, I see some general information about the CAPA case. I can see that it was identified as a problem in manufacturing. I can see it was given a major classification. I can see details about it. So we found a particular stapler that was failing its quality test. It was coming in at a crooked angle. And then I can see all the work that was done. I can see all the activities that were created by the system, assigned to the right user, and drove this process so that we could figure out, okay, the problem was with this particular quality order. We assessed it as a high risk. We determined additional action was necessary. We had delegated assignments to people to find out to do more research. So quality got assigned to do something to determine how broad the problem was. Product development was asked, how can this problem happen? And we basically recorded the results. So as it turns out, in this particular Kappa case, the problem was determined that the subassembly was not snapped into place and that the operators on the floor didn't know that was part of the process. And so the end result of all of this is we corrected the problem, we corrected the serial numbers that were impacted, we retested them, and we updated the work instructions so that we know that so that the operators know how to prevent this from happening in the future. So I'm going to pass this back. That's what I wanted to show you today. I'm going to pass this back to Bob.
Well, thank you very much for that, Tracy. That's a great demonstration. Boy, that's an extensive tool too. It's the degree, the broad application of what it can do for medical device regulation and compliance. Okay, so I want to ask Steve, could you share how some of your customers are effectively deploying the solution using MedDevice Express and Edge?
Yeah, you bet. And so Fractal Health is one of our clients. Fractal has created a treatment that ultimately is being used to help cure type 2 diabetes. So this is the first non-pill or injection solution for type 2 diabetes. And we use MedDevice Express at Fractal. And what it did is it saved several weeks of consulting time, especially in the early stages of the deployment. And again, this is driven through the database that's populated with some of their data. It's pre-configured. It's got the business process models specific for the med device industry. And so again, we're shortening that cycle of going from a blank sheet of paper to actually having business process models and data specific for them. The task guides were already in place, and these task guides are walking a user through how they do their work in Dynamics 365. And so they can be there as a reference point, but they can also be there to actually drive the system for them. So if it's a part of the system that maybe they only do it once a month, they don't always remember, they can actually have a guide that will lead them through how they complete their work using Dynamics 365.
Okay, thanks for that, Steve. Maybe I could ask you just to sort of sketch out for us, and based on what we've heard so far, just kind of outline for us the main advantages of Microsoft and Alithya.
Yeah, Bob, the feedback that we have from our clients is that, when you think about Microsoft, you think about, well, they're a leader in the cloud. Obviously, there's a couple of others, but there's not 100. So there's only a couple that are there, and clearly Microsoft Azure is one of those. When you look at for a business application space, so Dynamics plays there, and as a leader in that space, from Gartner to Forrester, they have Dynamics in that leader quadrant. And so the capability, it obviously has the functionality to be used. The capabilities of being in Azure, that scalability, but really one of the primary things is around security, the security of the platform, the adaptability of the solution to be able to fit their needs today, as well as to be able to fit the growing needs. And so as they change, as new products come on, hey, I may only be med device today, and tomorrow I may venture into some other areas of healthcare. And so I want to be able to have a system that'll grow with me. And then one of the other areas that gets highlighted is segregation of duties, being able to clearly show that, clearly delineate that. Traceability is another key area. And then for Alithya, it's really around our focus around manufacturing at an industry level, and then specifically around med device, the experience that we have, and some of the IP that we bring.
All right. Well, with that, I would like to bring the audience in. We have some questions, a couple of questions from the audience, a few more to cover. And even as we are answering these questions, the audience members are encouraged to continue to submit your questions, and we'll get to as many of them as we can in the allowable time. This one, I think I'm going to direct to Juan. Juan, a comment was made earlier about security. How does Microsoft secure the D365 environment?
Well, there's different types of security that we're going to be able to provide, and ensure that there's confidence within Microsoft to keep all the data secure. Within Dynamics, you're going to have, I think Steve mentioned already, traceability across the board. With database login, you can actually determine what should be tracked down to the field level. So we're going to be able to see what changes are being made, what is being updated by the user. With Azure, we're going to have Azure Active Directory for identity management. And those are just some for the security. We do have several, a lot more on our website, but just want to cover the big ones.
Okay. The question is, how often is D365 updated and how do you stay compliant? Juan?
So Microsoft releases 8 service updates per year, but you have the option of pausing 3 consecutive updates. Now, 2 of them are mandatory per year, and with April and October usually being major releases that you kind of want to update just because they have new functionality.
Steve, can you comment on that?
Yeah, you bet. And Juan's right. With the updates that Microsoft is releasing, it's both exciting times and it can be challenging times because that new functionality is coming out, and so it's great, and customers get excited about it. But there's also then you have to make sure that you're deploying it in a safe way and in a smart way, and that's exactly what Microsoft has listened, and as they've been in the cloud, and they've allowed our clients. And again, you think about in the med device space, with the additional requirements from the FDA and having the ERP system certified, and that's where they've allowed that. Hey, I can skip a couple of the releases. I don't have to stay on that most current one. It does allow our clients to be able to review the new functionality, and not just take it because it's new, but choose to use it because it's really meaningful. It's going to add value to the organization. And if it does, that's great. It gives them time to test it, to make sure that it's going to deliver value, and then to get the necessary certification for it to be able to deploy it in their production environment. And there's great testing tools as well that are available, that we work with our clients to be able to do those tests, and to at least make it. You still have to follow those steps, but it just makes it a little bit easier to do that.
Thanks, Steve. Well, I hate to say it, but we are just about out of time. We have time for one final question. I'm going to direct it to Steve. And again, Steve, if you could sum up for us, maybe in a little bit more detail, the main advantages of using Microsoft and Alithya for medical device manufacturers.
Yeah, so similar to one of the other questions earlier, and I'll go beyond just the if you will, the application. And so you think about our clients in the med device space. They generate tons of data, whether they're using Microsoft, if they're using one of the other ERP systems, that they may even be using Excel. Whatever they're using, they're still generating tons of data. And the ability to input the data correctly in the beginning, to be able to capture that data, and then to do something with it, to do something meaningful with it, and to help drive and run their business. As we think through, hey, where's the real value? The real value is being able to take that data and not just see the I guess at the data level, but being able to take it and to see maybe some patterns that are there that aren't easily seen, being able to pick up on that. Juan mentioned earlier about Chat GPT and some of the AI capabilities. And yes, a little bit of it's maybe not ready for the med device world, but it's coming. And so being prepared for that, being ready for that. And I guess what we see and what we're hearing from our clients, there's an excitement around. They see where Microsoft is going. They see that they continue to innovate. They continue to provide new capabilities. And so what we do from our side as a partner, we're working with our clients to help them evaluate, hey, how is AI, how can we use it, maybe how we use it internally first before we start looking at how we use it from a manufacturing standpoint. But then it comes back to the data capabilities, being able to take the data, have it in a place that allows them to do more with it, to make more meaningful decisions, and to make more timely decisions. And ultimately, that's what we're trying to drive. And that's where I think we see our clients being successful, and where we'll continue to see them grow as Microsoft continues to help us and give us new tools to work with.
Well, thank you so much, Steve. And once again, I want to thank Steve, Reed, Juan Aguilar, and Tracy Dodona for an excellent presentation featuring both Microsoft and Alithya about this crucial topic of regulation and compliance with medical devices. Thank you so much, all of you. And thank you, audience, for your attendance as well and for your questions. To show your appreciation, within 24 hours, you will receive from us a fact sheet on Medical Device Express. Be looking for that, along with the URL to share the show and watch on demand going forward. Thanks again, everybody. Really appreciate your great insights. Everybody, have a great day.